Hey travel besties, it's Allison. I am back today with a new video. For this video, I'm going to be answering the question, is Kenya safe? How does it compare to the US? How do I stay safe if I visit? Share, comment, like, and subscribe. So is Kenya safe to visit? If you're thinking about going or even just curious at this point, this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing my personal experience traveling solo throughout Nairobi, maybe one other city. So let's talk about it, travel besties. Let's be real. If you only go by Western news, you think visiting Kenya means dodging bullets, grenades, lions on the street, whatever. But the reality is most people live normal lives, going to work, shopping, meeting up with friends, and vibing in the city. So just like in the US, Kenya has safe areas, areas to avoid, and a lot in between. But the key is knowing what's what. So that's what I want to kind of get into today. I've had about 3 to 4 different types of accommodations while visiting Kenya. At a friend's home in an enclosed neighborhood with 24/7 security, which is very comforting, when you're traveling out of the country. So, it's just really a good feel to know that, there's someone watching over you. So, super cozy Airbnbs with security, which is a gate man. One of the hotels I stayed in, that was the Somerset Westview Hotel. Really cool. This was when I did have some girlfriends meet up with me there, but this was my first time staying at a hotel in Nairobi. But like I said, 24/7 security. Nobody's just coming in and going out. Like, you feel very safe. And then, everyone's friendly. Whatever you need, it's a phone call away. So this is me, like, just getting in, putting my luggage in the room. You got it. For my yogurt. Oh, it's all set. All set. Cutting boards. I had to pre-stock with a few snacks because I get hungry. Just saying. Riding through the city of Nairobi can be a little chaotic if you're not used to this sort of traffic, not used to driving on the opposite side of the road. I don't know how there's not a lot of accidents on the side of the road like there is here. I mean, you might get a little razzle dazzle, but it'll be okay. So as I mentioned, security is taken pretty seriously. This was probably my first time in Nairobi here, and we're riding up to one of the malls, and I had to quickly put my phone down because Makui was like, they don't like you recording. This is me taking a stroll in one of my friend's neighborhood in Kileleshua. Okay, really, really nice environment, fun, free. This is me walking through the mall. There's security throughout the mall, by the ATMs, outside of, any of the stores. And this is at one of the local grocery stores, I want to say. So I'm just stepping out, waiting for my little Uber. The Ubers come around the front. This is the Lavington Mall. I want to say I just finished getting a haircut. So again, I'm waiting for Uber. That's the life when you're visiting Kenya. You're gonna take a whole bunch of Ubers. So, but just getting around, like, that's one thing I notice about Nairobi is, like, it's so peaceful. Like, everybody's just minding their business. Whatever they have to do for the day, they're doing it. They're not worrying about, like, what you're doing. so you don't stand out, which is a good thing. Um, and you just go about your day, and do what you got to do. So this is me outside of Yaya Mall in Kilimani. That's typically where I go, because I'm just really familiar with that mall. But the streets can get really busy. But there's never like any drama going on. There can be some petty theft, that I've heard of. You may not want to have your cell phone just all out, because there are people that will, come by and snatch it. But I've never had that happen to me, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen. So this is us taking a ride. I can't remember where we're going, but you got the lady on the boda probably heading to work. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'll ever feel safe enough to get on a boda. Like, I'm adventurous, but I'm not that adventurous. Like, I don't need to be on the back of your boda. I'ma just take this Uber, or ride with a friend. I want to say I was actually riding with my friend right here, but the streets of Kenya, very, very, very busy. I don't know if I'd ever have the confidence to drive in the city. Yeah, I'd rather just ride. And that's crazy because I've literally lived in South Korea before and driven a car from one city to another. But for some reason, Kenya, this riding on the left side of the road is just, I'm not ready. I am not ready. But overall, the streets feel safe. You don't see like a lot of accidents, and not a lot of drama on the road. Like I said, everybody's keeping to themselves, you know. That's just how it is. So, in many Kenyan neighborhoods, especially middle class and upper class ones, there's a gate man at the entrance of each home or apartment. And they log in visitors, they keep an eye out on the property, and are often the first line of hospitality. So, honestly, shout out to all the gate men and women. So this was the gate woman at one of my recent stays. I was looking crazy. I was hot. It was towards the end of my trip. But the gate people really take care of you. And, you know, it's a good idea, if you got some snacks or something like that, bring it to them. Of course, I'm so friendly. Only I would be taking pictures with the gate man, but I'm a friendly person, and they made sure that I was safe, and I appreciate that. So this is this is definitely common wherever you go. You're gonna have um a gate man wherever you're staying. It's gonna be enclosed, so people can't just come in and out. Now let's talk about going out at night. So I've been to restaurants, rooftop lounges, even hit a few clubs. Here I am at the Nairobi Street Kitchen. Cool place. Check it out. This is actually the Black Samurai Lounge right here. There's security at the door, security throughout the venue. And, I just had a good time with me and my girls and some of my homeboys. Um, I'm going to just be honest. I feel safer going out in Kenya than I do here, because here we have too many freaking guns. So you go out, might get shot up. Obviously, you still want to be safe. Don't take drinks from another person, and take screenshots of your Uber and send it to a friend. Just basic things like that.
Yeah, he's bumping, beating up the block, beating up the block. Period. Period.
Even if you go somewhere familiar, like here, I'm at the Calypso Lounge. Um, you know, you got to be safe. because it's dark. People can run out of the bushes. But that's never happened. Never heard of it happening. So you just have to practice common sense. Kenya's main airport, Jomo Kenyatta International, is secure, organized, very visitor friendly. So, there's going to be guards, ID checks, and screening before you even get to the terminal. My not so favorite thing is this cluster, this little, well, not very little, it's actually huge crowd that gathers once you make it outside of the airport. So I stick to the same driver, Joseph. He picks me up, drops me off. If there's something special going on in the city, I can always depend on him or one of his drivers to come get me. So it's really good to establish a relationship with a trusted driver. It just makes your trip a lot easier, less stressful. And I just personally don't want to just get in random vehicles from the airport or to the airport, because going to the airport and making that flight is a serious matter. So yeah, I need someone I can trust. So that's how we roll. My first time taking a domestic flight was to Mombasa to get to Vipingo, and this airport is a lot smaller, very laid back, chill, definitely safe, quiet, security throughout. Totally different vibe going on here. So it was a good experience. No issues there. Let's talk about some stats real quick. So, Nairobi ranks safer for walking during the day than major US cities like Atlanta and Los Angeles. Petty crime happens, but so does pickpocketing in Times Square. Police presence is visible, especially in tourist zones and public areas. Bottom line, Kenya isn't crime free, but it's not a wild jungle. So I'm not gonna hold you, but I gotta tell you this story. So one time in 2019, me and my friend were cruising in the city. She was showing me around because it was my first time in Nairobi. Unfortunately, my friend didn't have her wallet, and we just happened to pass one of those roadblocks. The police got in our vehicle and almost tried to take my phone. I had to get real American, but it was such a headache because we had to sit at the station. It was like several hours. I was hungry. My phone started dying. You know, we ended up having, to pay to get her vehicle out, but I think he probably just wanted some money and we probably would have been okay, but we didn't give it to him. That's just one example of not necessarily feeling unsafe, but a little uncertain. You never know what's going to pop off. So another time where I felt safe, but probably should have felt unsafe, was at one time in 2019 when I went with a couple of friends to Karua Forest, and little did I know there had been a lion that had escaped the Nairobi National Park, and he was out there mauling people. Well, he at least mauled one man. And here I am out here taking photos like I'm on top of the world. The truth is, I don't know how far Karura Forest is from Nairobi National Park, but it's just kind of hilarious to learn that I was out there and, a lion could have pulled up on us. But it didn't happen, and I'm here to talk about it. To be quite honest with you, the only time I've ever actually felt unsafe in Kenya is that one time I tried to be sexy and do one of those hop up slow motion pictures where you throw back your hair in the pool, and I almost drowned in just maybe 2 feet of water. Yeah, so I don't know how this helps you, but yeah, Kenya's safe. So do what you have to do. Don't try to be sexy in 2 feet of water.